Jason was a firefighter. He was a hero. Day in and day out, he faced danger head-on. He ran into burning buildings while others ran out. He saved lives. He was strong, courageous, and selfless. People admired him. They called him brave. But beneath the surface, Jason was fighting a hidden battle, a battle no one could see. Jason was deeply depressed. He felt a constant weight on his chest, a suffocating sadness. The world seemed dark and hopeless. Every day was a struggle to get out of bed. The things that used to bring him joy no longer held any meaning. He felt empty and alone. The contrast between Jason's public persona and his private struggle was stark. He was the brave firefighter, always ready to help. Yet inside, he was crumbling under the weight of his depression. He felt like a fraud, unable to reconcile his internal turmoil with his outward appearance. Jason's wife, Janet, was a paramedic. She was used to dealing with emergencies, with pain and suffering, but nothing prepared her for the silent suffering of her husband. She saw the changes in him. The once vibrant and energetic man she loved was now withdrawn and subdued.
I asked him what was wrong, offered comfort and support. But Jason, trapped in his own darkness, pushed me away. He couldn't bring himself to talk about it, not even with me. He felt ashamed, weak, and unworthy of my love.
He believed that admitting his struggle would make him a burden. He thought it would diminish his strength in the eyes of his wife, his colleagues, and the community he swore to protect. He felt like a failure. He was supposed to be the strong one, the one who helped others. How could he, a firefighter, be so broken? Janet refused to give up on Jason. She knew he was in pain, and she wouldn't let him suffer in silence. She continued to offer her love and support, even when he rejected it. She researched depression, learning everything she could about the illness.
I discovered that depression wasn't a sign of weakness. It was an illness, just like any other. I learned about the stigma surrounding mental health, especially for first responders. I realized that Jason's silence stemmed from fear and shame, not from a lack of love or strength.
Janet shared her findings with Jason. She told him that he wasn't alone, that many first responders struggled with their mental health. She emphasized that seeking help was not a sign of weakness, but a sign of courage. She promised to be there for him every step of the way.
One evening, as I sat alone with my thoughts, the weight of my depression became unbearable. I looked at Janet, her love shining in her eyes, and I knew I couldn't keep it in any longer. I had to tell her, to share my burden.
With trembling hands and a choked voice, Jason confessed his struggle to Janet.
I told her about the darkness that consumed me, the hopelessness that haunted my every waking moment. I spoke of my fear, my shame, and my belief that I was unworthy of her love.
As Jason spoke, a wave of relief washed over him. The weight on his chest felt a little lighter. He had finally said it out loud, had shared his secret with the one person he loved most in the world. And to his surprise, Janet didn't pull away. She didn't judge him. She just held him, her love and support unwavering.
My unwavering support gave Jason the strength to seek professional help. He began therapy and started taking medication. It wasn't easy. The road to recovery was long and arduous. But with each passing day, a flicker of hope began to ignite within him.
As Jason healed, he realized that he wasn't alone in his struggle. He discovered that many of his fellow firefighters carried their own hidden wounds, their own silent battles with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. He felt a calling, a need to help his brothers and sisters in arms.
Together, Janet and I decided to create a charity called Brave Hearts. The organization's mission was to provide mental health resources and support to first responders and their families. We wanted to break down the stigma, to create a safe space where first responders could seek help without fear of judgment or shame.
Brave Hearts quickly gained momentum. Firefighters, paramedics, and police officers from all over the state reached out for support. Jason and Janet's story resonated with so many who had suffered in silence for far too long.
The charity offered counseling services, support groups, and educational workshops. I found healing in helping others. I realized that my vulnerability was not a weakness, but a strength. By sharing my story, I had given others permission to do the same. I had helped create a community of support, a place where first responders could find hope and healing.
Jason's journey from despair to hope was a testament to the power of vulnerability and the importance of seeking help. It showed that even the strongest among us can struggle, and that there is no shame in asking for help. And it highlighted the profound impact that love, support, and community can have on the path to healing.